Hey, what's up, people? Pizowell here, and today I want to talk to you guys about 2019's Hellboy. Now, this is partially going to be a review of the movie as well as a review of this upcoming Lionsgate Blu-ray release for the film. And this is, of course, the Hellboy reboot. I've seen the two Guillermo del Toro Hellboy movies. I own them both on Blu-ray. They're both good movies. They're both exceptionally well-made movies, particularly the second Hellboy movie, but they're not the kinds of movies that I reach for and rewatch on a regular basis. That's why when I heard that Hellboy was getting rebooted, I thought, a darker, R-rated approach to Mike Mignola's comic could be a good thing. Then I heard that Neil Marshall was directing the film. I've liked several of Neil Marshall's movies. That's another good thing. I saw the trailer. I thought the trailer looked pretty darn good. I was excited for the Hellboy reboot. Then the movie was released, and it was released to universally negative reviews, like overwhelmingly negative reviews. The movie came and went from theaters really quickly. I missed it upon its theatrical run, but I still went into Hellboy via this Blu-ray with optimism. However, that optimism was dashed very, very early on. Hellboy loses its footing right out the gate pretty much and just never regains its footing, because this is a movie with a serious identity crisis. This movie has no idea what kind of movie it wants to be, and while it's searching for itself, it leads the audience through flashback after flashback, exposition after exposition, flat characters, boring action sequences, bad CGI, really bad one-liners, and just a bad sense of humor overall. Now, it's pretty common knowledge that this movie was fraught with production problems. As a matter of fact, Neil Marshall came out publicly and disowned Hellboy. He said, "This is not my movie. This is the producer's movie. They took it over. They took it away from me. It's not mine. I don't want to have anything to do with the Hellboy reboot." And the movie certainly feels like there were too many cooks in the kitchen. This is the kind of movie that feels like it was Frankenstein together in the editing room. It feels like a movie with a beginning and an end, but no middle. We get the setup, we get the conclusion, but there just seems to be so much missing in the middle, which creates some absolutely intolerable pacing problems with 2019's Hellboy. This is one of the most poorly paced movies I've ever seen. I felt like I was in a tug of war while watching this movie. It was taking one step forward and then taking two steps back, because the movie kept stopping its forward momentum to go back and tell backstories through flashbacks. We get the Blood Queen's flashback at the beginning of the film, then we get Hellboy's flashback, then we get this character's flashback, that character's flashback, another character's flashback. So we're just, it feels like this movie has an enormous amount of plot when there's really no plot to this movie whatsoever. Now, a lot was said about the CGI in Hellboy 2019, particularly how bad the CGI was in this movie. Now, for the most part, the CGI was tolerable. However, there were plenty of moments in the film where the CGI was just like, whoa, that's bad. David Harbour from Stranger Things plays Hellboy here, and he's giving it his all. David Harbour committed 100% to playing Hellboy in this movie. He dives into the character head first. It's almost like he's trying too hard, to be honest. It's almost like he recognized probably very early on in the production of Hellboy that this thing is coming out sideways. So he's trying his best to save the movie. And even though his performance is really good, there's no saving this movie. Milla Jovovich plays the villain in the film, the Blood Queen. And I love Milla Jovovich, but it just doesn't work in this movie. And I don't think that's a problem on Milla Jovovich's end. I think it's just a problem with it's just a generic villain. There's nothing there for her to sink her teeth into. There's no substance to this character. It's just another generic villain who wants to destroy the world because. Ian McShane plays Hellboy's dad, and Ian McShane is a phenomenal actor. But here he is, I was going to say he sleepwalks through this movie, but even Ian McShane's sleepwalking is award caliber sleepwalking. He just has nothing to do in this movie. Again, no substance, nothing to sink his teeth into. He's just another flat, one-dimensional character in a movie full of flat, one-dimensional characters. Hellboy 2019 is just a mess. It feels like a movie that had a lot of production problems. It feels like a movie that was Frankenstein together in the editing room. It feels like a movie that was just incomplete. Again, it feels like the entire middle of this film either was not shot or is on the cutting room floor somewhere, and based on the making of that's on this Blu-ray, they shot a lot of stuff that just didn't make it into the movie. As a matter of fact, I think probably about half of the trailer that we saw for Hellboy 2019 was made up of footage that is not in the movie. I definitely cannot recommend Hellboy 2019. I wanted to like this movie. I think this could have been a solid film. It just isn't. This is an absolute mess of a movie. As far as this Blu-ray from Lionsgate is concerned, first let's check out the presentation. We get a really nice glossy slipcase there with some artwork on it featuring Hellboy. The sleeve is the exact same artwork featuring Hellboy. As far as the picture quality and sound quality are concerned, I would give them both a solid 4 out of 5. I thought the movie looked great. I thought the movie sounded great. As far as extras are concerned, we get a making of that is broken into 3 chapters: The Forever Warrior, Story and Characters, Ye Gods and Devils, Creatures and Gear, and Rise of the Blood Queen production, which is 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 28 seconds in length. It features interviews with Mike Mignola, David Harbour, David Day Kim, Sasha Lane, Ian McShane, Mila Jovovich, and many more. They discuss the film's production, the stunts, the makeup effects, the creature effects, the costumes, the props, you name it. This is a very informative, in-depth making of for Hellboy 2019, and it was very refreshing to see a new Blu-ray release get this kind of making of, because it seems like a lot of new Blu-ray releases, if they have any extras on them at all, it's usually very brief interviews or very brief just behind the scenes footage. So it was nice to see that Hellboy 2019 got a very informative, over 1 hour in length making of. However, that is the only extra on this release. This is a solid Blu-ray release for 2019's Hellboy from Lionsgate. If you are a fan of this film, you definitely want to look into picking up this Blu-ray and adding it to your collection. Both the picture quality and the sound quality are good, and we get that very in-depth, informative making of for the movie. I'll post a link to Lionsgate's website in the description. Go over and check them out. If you saw 2019's Hellboy, please let me know your thoughts on it down in the comment section below. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. They're also right around here. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Join the $1 a month club and help support my channel on Patreon. Thank you to my current patrons: Kevin Smythe, Orc145626, B-Movie Mike, Robert Sobel, Turi Delamore, Stephen Flanagan, Lori Holt, Craig Farrand, Farron Sutton, Jeremiah Lambert, Grindhouse Grotto, Derek Jana, Demon Waffles, Simon Clark, Stone Gassman, Zachary Barton, Lauren Dixon, James Welch, Eli Geisler, Jeff Overing, Pete Toll, Kyle McGuire, Jay the Stingray, Andrew McDonald, Dave Barnes, Jonathan Lundy, Chris Gonzalez, Trenton Bowser, Jason Breitenbach, Brandon Bisdick, Steak Sauce, OG Myers, and Mark Striano. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.